Are we on?
We're ready.
We're ready?
Okay.
Welcome to Elvis Fans Matter. And Elvis is my world. Next question.
All right. Let's see. Do you have any funny stories about Minnie Mae?
Oh, yeah.
Some we couldn't probably tell. She had a funny personality that real dry and
Yeah. She, one I told, and it always was the funniest thing to me, is when she went down in the pasture. She went down there with Aunt Gladys and to feed the chickens, and Aunt Gladys went on back up, and she was, looking around, walking kind of slow, and the donkey got after her. Well, she took off running, and everybody knows how high that fence is. She grabbed that fence and cleared that sucker, boy, and just kept going. And that was a funny old donkey. All he wanted to do was be petted, but he gonna hit him with his teeth. And but
that's
How old was she?
I don't know for sure. That was in '57. I don't know how old she was exactly, but let me put it this way: it would have been really hard for me to do that.
All right, let's.
Well, because I'm short, but don't say it.
Yeah, but you were,
Yeah, I know. I'm short. Shut up.
Well, you were close to Minnie Mae, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to. I mean, she took care of me too. Her
She
and Gladys
babysat Billy a lot when he was little.
When I was little, and all. I
She
was
used to,
around a whole lot, and she was like Elvis. She'd call me Marble Eyes and stuff. So
Every time Danny and Joey would go out there to see her, they'd go in her room, and she would always kept candy in her nightstand drawer. She'd give them candy and tell them about Billy when he was little and how mean he was and
I wasn't mean.
mischievous.
Yeah, I guess I was.
And they'd come back telling Billy and laughing, and she was Grandma was real friendly though.
Yeah.
Everybody. She didn't say too much. She didn't come out of her room too much in the later years, but she always went in the kitchen for her breakfast in the morning.
I ought to tell it, but
I know what you're thinking.
I better not.
When she told Elvis told her he'd bring her back a boyfriend. Yeah. We won't tell that part.
Maybe, and if you remember it now, and question and answers, I would put it out on YouTube, but I would, do it in a question and answer session.
Yeah.
So y'all remember that in August, if we get to have another Q&A during Elvis Week, somebody bring up the Minnie Mae and Elvis boyfriend question, and he might tell it live there.
Believe me, it's funny.
It's funny. Just thinking, here's Grandma saying all this.
Somebody wants to know more about Lorraine and Travis Smith. That's your mom and daddy. So, now Paul Smith was a gate guard at Grayson, right?
The first gate guard.
Well, he was a gate guard on Audubon Drive. That's where he first started. And, of course, moved to Graceland. And that's why, Elvis actually, like I said, which it was because of everything going on that we actually moved in the house on Graceland property before they ever moved into Graceland, because they had so much going on, at one time. Fence building and redecorating Graceland and gardening and all this kind of stuff. And then Daddy was, he was...
Were they building the wall, the fence?
Oh, yeah, they were building the stone wall and the wood wall all the way around it and all. And see, Daddy was there just for that then.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, when Elvis moved in and all, they had the gate up and all that, and Elvis, you know, that's when Daddy started his gate guard.
So you and your mama, daddy, and your brother Bobby moved to Graceland before Elvis.
Yeah.
And you moved in that big white house.
Big white house
You and Elvis bulldozed down.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of funny stories about that house. I think you told about the carpenter though that came back out to paint the
Porch.
They had just put a new porch on it, and Elvis decided he wanted to bulldoze it down later that day, so they did. And the next morning, the carpenters came back to paint the porch, and the house was gone.
Nothing there.
So that was fun.
And he looked at his daddy and he said, "Daddy," he said, he called him Mr. Cox. He said, "There was a house here, wasn't it? or we losing it?" And he said, "I think there was a house here." Of course, they could see some of the, you know,
rubbish
some of
and
the rubbish, rubble from it.
debris that we kind of hadn't completely cleared, but we'd got most of it. But it was funny. I mean, they just stopped. They got to that section. We go back into the back part there, and they just stopped and looked.
Well, you can imagine how they felt like.
Yeah.
There they were with their buckets of paint and
They were
paintbrushes.
hired to paint the porch because they just built a brand new porch on the dock of running out. That's what upset him so much.
He's like, "Dang it."
Elvis bulldozed. He said, "Wait a minute, son. Wait a minute, son. I got all this stuff. I got all this stuff inside there."
And he had just paid them to do that,
Yeah.
you know, and
And Elvis said, "Well, Daddy, you got about 5 minutes to get it out."
I never will forget him come running out of that house. Elvis hit it, and Uncle Vernon was saying, "Wait a minute!" And he said, "No, I'm not waiting no longer." But he said, "You know, you're gonna come on out."
What did he have stored in there?
Old furniture and appliances and
appliances,
just all
yeah,
kind
all
of
kind of
stuff
stuff.
that Elvis had taken out from Graceland and stuff like that. And he said, "But there's some good stuff in there." Boom! And he came out, and there was sheetrock in his hair.
He was in there
Yeah.
when he was gonna bulldoze. I mean,
Yeah, we
he-
come in from the back side.
He was in there, and Elvis hit it. He knew it wasn't going to cave in the first
Right.
hit, you know. But Elvis, he kept
He
saying,
gave
"Wait
him
a
a
minute,
little
wait a
scare.
minute." Yeah, he said he just hit the side. He said, "Time's up."
He just bumped it
Yeah.
the first time.
Bumped
Then that second time, it just walked right through it. It never did
Yeah.
face it. That sucker went right completely on through
It
it.
was a sight to
Three
see.
swipes with that bulldozer in that house.
Right.
you know. And that was a 3-bedroom home.
Dang.
And, you know, living room, dining room, kitchen, you know, all this.
It was a big house.
It was a fairly big house.
Fairly big house.
But that big D9 Caterpillar, it didn't even phase it.
He just wanted it down so
Yeah.
he could
More
have
riding
riding
area. We
room.
had started in with the horses.
Yeah.
And
That's before he got the ranch.
yeah.
What about Mama Smith? Did she get along with your Aunt Gladys
Oh,
and with
yeah.
Minnie
Yeah.
Mae?
Yeah, she loved them. They were just real close. And you talking about funny. Billy's mother was the most comical person you would ever want to meet. I don't think I ever had a crossword with her. She and your daddy too. They
Yeah.
it was just their expressions, their you know, like she was very, very country, but
Yeah.
she just everybody that ever met her, I think, loved her. Everybody. She fit in just, you know.
And Daddy too, because
Yeah, he was a card.
Daddy actually took it on his own. When Elvis wasn't there, they'd almost, you know, well, they'd beg him. I mean, just take us
Around the, yeah.
And he started doing that, and that was almost a constant thing, you know. And they had to actually put a charger for that golf cart
That's
down
after.
at the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, so he would take fans from the gate, like just
Oh,
around
to
the
the
thing.
front of the
couple
house.
at a time,
Take
because he couldn't get
pictures.
about like 3 on
Right.
there.
Yeah. And then they got the Jeep.
Then, yeah, and then they could carry more. Yeah, when they got
I can just see, we've got some pictures of him with that pink Jeep loaded down with fans. He'd take them up and let them get out in front of the house and take pictures when Elvis was not at home. Sometimes when he was home, he would circle them around the,
Yeah, real quick. He wouldn't let them out.
Wouldn't let him
Yeah.
out of his lane.
Cause you
but
never
everybody
knew when
liked
Elvis
him.
might
He
come
was,
out. So,
yeah.
But Daddy was, they all crazy about Daddy.
And
'cause
funny too, he was. They were just. There's so many stories about them that you could tell. He was just comical.
We may try to do that on one video.
Yeah.
Just have a video about them, because a lot of the viewers have asked. They want to know about the Smith side of the family and about more. I'm getting tickled thinking about the gate because of what you told the other night about your Uncle Tracy.
Uncle Tracy.
Tracy saying if we're not on his watch, they weren't gonna.
Yeah. Did you tell that on the video? Did you tell
I
that?
don't know if I ever told that or not, but
Monroe.
we'll get around to it.
Yeah. And I told one of my coworkers, she's a big Elvis fan, and I told her one of our videos you told about Mamaw Smith going and taking the turnip greens and riding the elevator up and down, up and down.
I think we told
Yeah, we
that
told
one,
it
but
on
Yeah,
one
they
of our
changed
videos.
it from. They had changed at the hospital. They had changed instead of the.
The
It used to be a thing you like
What
a
they call a
cage thing,
bellboy, yeah.
Bellboy, yeah.
and or the elevator boy, whatever, and he would pull the thing across and close it, and asked you what floor. Well, they put in the elevators where you just mash the button, and they didn't know, what to do. They
Which
Well-
floor? They just found the floor.
How they got the bellboy is when you hit the button, bell went off, and he
Yeah.
knew where to go if somebody was ready to ride the elevator. That's how they came to be known, as bellboys, because they was like answering, the ring of the. But anyway, that's so.
Yeah, I'll try to
You gotta
find.
be real old and remember
real
that kind
old
of
to
stuff.
know that kind of stuff.
Well, I work for an elevator company and do spare parts for elevators, and a lady, she's passed away now, Joanne, but she told us she was so old and had worked there so long, it was a ladder company before it was an elevator.
You just climb.
Yeah,
the
I'll
ladder.
try to find the link. I know I won't try. We'll find it. Find the link for that story on the turnip greens for Papa's and Gladys at the hospital. It's funny, so you'll enjoy that. So I think with this one, we might just wrap it up and move on to our next set of questions. So y'all have anything you want to say or do or?
No, I guess we'll close it out and go to another one.
Yeah.
But just remember, folks, guys, keep us going, and the way to do that is it costs nothing. It's just tell your friends to subscribe, and and watch our videos and all, and
Share it on any social
Share,
media
yeah.
that you have.
we'd appreciate all the help we can get. And with
I
that,
want to say one thing.
no, you have talked.
We heard from a friend that we hadn't heard from for a while, and we just wanted to say hello to Ali Khan.
Yeah.
Hey, Allie. All right, with
With
that,
that,
what we say?
What do we say?
Elvis
fans
Fans
matter.
matter.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.